There's no better feeling as a landscape photographer than checking your forecast the day before at your favourite local woodland, seeing there's fog and mist predicted, and then actually getting here and experiencing it, because how many times is it predicted and it just doesn't happen. But thankfully this morning it has, and you know where I am. Of course I am. So yes, so my plan for this morning, actually, I'm just going to enjoy myself. No, I have got a plan. Well, I've got a theme, I guess you'd call it. And that's to try and, thank you, and that's to try and pick out some of these characters. And often you've heard me refer to these trees in the fen here as characters, and they are, you know, it's interesting that you get to talk to other photographers and they also recognise them as characters. They've all got different names for them, but they are certain trees that have got certain characteristics about them that just stand out and beg to be shot with a camera. And there's a few of those in here. So what I plan to do today is to try and find as many of those as I can, shoot them in these conditions because they tend to look quite nice in the fog and the mist, give them their names, or my names of them, and yeah, just show them off, show you the characters of Holm Fen. Let's go. So this is the first of the characters that I'm going to show you, and it's probably my favourite if I'm honest. So easy to get to, literally 2 minutes walk from where you park the car on the road here, in on the main track and here on the left hand side. And we call him, well actually I've got several names for him, depends on who you talk to. There's another photographer here this morning, I've just spoke to him, Nigel Northwood. Good to see you, Nigel. He referred to him as the stick man. I know that my friend Paul Benz and Kevin, his friend, refer to him as the stick man. I refer to him as the Jester. I think that's because he just seems to be, you know, he's got these arms and he's juggling and he's making people happy and he seems quite a happy chappy. And I just think that name suits him quite well. So yeah, he's the Jester. Now, you're restricted on where you can take this tree from. So the obvious composition is from the road or from the track over here. And he has got a really nice overhanging branch across the top, so he frames quite nicely. But obviously in these misty, foggy conditions, giving him separation from the background really sets him aside. Now, you know, this morning are lovely conditions, but there's no light at all. But you can't have it all. But even so, he still stands out quite nicely. Yeah, great shot. Now, actual fact, I will give credit to the first person that showed me this tree, and that was a fellow YouTuber, Ian Worth. Ian did a video from here several years ago now, and he shot this tree. So I'm not going to take credit for finding this, even though it's literally on the main path, but I was, I guess, pointed to it from Ian, so thanks, Ian. But yeah, and I've shot it several times. It's as I say, a well shot tree. But yeah, this is the Jester. So today what I've done is I've gone back with the 100 to 400 back quite a way, and I've shot in quite tight on this tree using the overhanging branch, using this tree here on the left hand side just as a bit of an anchor. Yeah, as I say, it's not a shot that is unique in any way, shape or form, but catching it in these conditions is definitely worth doing. So number one, the Jester. My second character is one I've actually never shot before, and if I'm honest, the only way it really works is in fog. because there's a lot of other trees behind this one. But there's a little character over there, literally just a few yards to the right of where the Jester is. It's further into the fen, so you've got to really have a telephoto. I've got my 100-400 on. You've got to get the reach to get in to be able to get a shot of it. But it's a great little character. And he's got a kink to him, as many of these old birches have. They sort of define these kinks to the trunks over the years. And yeah, this one, he sort of kinks to the right and then up, and then he's got a few branches either side and just got a really nice little shape to him. Now, the credit for this one goes to a photographer called James Abbott. Now, this is one of James's favourite trees. James is quite a local photographer, quite an established photographer in the publishing industry, if anybody knows James, and I think he does workshops and things as well. But yeah, I've seen James here and seen James shoot this tree a couple of times before. So yeah, this one's James Abbott's tree. Hasn't got a name, actually. Don't know what I'm going to call him. Maybe call him Kink. I don't want to call him Kinky, because that might be a little bit wrong, but maybe call him Kink. But yeah, he's a great little character, this one. Shot this one, as I say, with the 100-400. I'm shooting as open as I can today, f5.6. There's really no need to get sharpness. The only real subject that you want to be as sharp as you can is the tree you're shooting. Everything else is going to be completely soft anyway. So trying to get as much light in as I possibly can. So I'm shooting f5.6. I'm shooting ISO 50, the lowest as I can go, because obviously it's still quite dark. I don't even know whether sunrise has happened or not yet, but I'm not expecting any sunrise at all. But yeah, low light conditions. So I'm down at ISO 50 on f5.6, giving me a shutter speed of, I don't know, 1-2 seconds, something like that. 5-second timer, 10-second timer if I've got tripod on the peat bog, which I have at the moment. Because with the long lens and a very unstable ground, then I would definitely suggest a quite long timer on your camera. Even though there's no wind this morning whatsoever, as you'd expect. So yeah, second character, we'll call him Kink. Hope you like him. The third character I'm going to show you is about 15 yards up from where I just was a second ago, just down there. And it's this lovely old birch that's overhanging this path. Again, quite a well shot tree. It's on the main path, so it's very noticeable. But again, it's got a great shape to it. And the good thing about this is how it sort of lurches over the path, especially in springtime when it's got some gorgeous yellow leaves on and green leaves on. It looks gorgeous overhanging this path. And also in the winter, Paul Benz, I'll put a picture up now. Paul Benz, my friend, has got a picture of this tree in the frost. Might have a bit of snow, I can't quite remember, but it's a really nice winter scene. And this tree looks great in the winter as well. So very well photographed, lovely shape, nice bit of character to it. Yeah, so I've just shot this one from back where you are. Again, 100-400, f5.6. Bit of mood going on in the background. There's not a lot to it, if I'm honest. I did try it from the other side as well, so I'll compare and see which one I like the best, because it works both ways, this tree. Yeah, number 3. Let's call this one the Lurcher. So I wouldn't necessarily say that these Scots pines are characters here at Holme Fen, but they are unique because the place is predominantly full of silver birch and you've got the odd patch of Scots pine dotted around. And I've shot these before, and the thing that just attracted me to these this morning to shoot them was the fact that you can see the trunks, the shape, the curviness of the trunks as they go up towards the sky. And I wouldn't normally be able to shoot them because the sky is normally too bright and it's too distracting. But this morning, of course, you can shoot them a bit higher, get more of the sky in. So all I've done with this is very simply gone in, I think about 150mm, just using the branches at the bottom or the trunks at the bottom to lead up to the needles at the top. And there's some lovely shapes and textures in this, and there's the brightness behind. It probably would work as a mono, if I'm honest, and I might even try and process it as a mono, but we'll see. But it's, yeah, just a shot that I wouldn't have normally taken, but the fog allows me to take a shot like this, and just a little bit different. So yeah, I'll call these characters because they stand out amongst a crowd. Oh, yes. The fog is disappearing very quickly. Felt like Rob Houghton stomping through the forest just there. Spotted a really nice little intimate composition as well I'm going to go back to, but first of all I'm just going to shoot this. So this was on my list to show you this morning, but as you can see by the time I've got here the fog is more or less gone, and this shot will only work in the fog. So I've missed this one, but never mind. This is a I've never ever shot this before, and I found it courtesy of my friend Paul Benz, who found this originally. And where you can see him, I'll give you some close-up B-roll, but he got a really young little spindly birch here, and particularly this shape in the middle of his trunk, shaped like an ear. So we're calling this one the ear tree, or Paul's called it the ear tree, or the listening tree. Maybe that's a better word, the listening tree. The listening tree, yeah, I like that. But as I say, he only works in the fog. You can see there are loads of birches around him, and it's a really complex shot. It just needs thick fog just to separate it. But I've taken a shot anyway. It's not doing it justice, but at least I've captured a shot. But yes, the listening tree, another little character, young character, protected by many of his older relatives, so hopefully he'll be here for many years to come. Right, there has got to be a shot here. This is the one I spotted as I was just walking down to get to the listening tree. There is a patch of spring colour coming out. Now, I'm not going to pretend to know what this tree is, but the bud reminds me a bit of pussy willow. It's really soft, fluffy bud, and it's yellow. Well, it's the flower of the bud is yellow, and of course it stands out. So this is the first sign of spring, and there is definitely a composition here somewhere. I've just got to find it. And just like that, the fog has gone, disappeared. But never mind, it was great while it lasted, and I thoroughly enjoyed those few hours first thing this morning in this foggy home fen. I love it when it's foggy here, absolutely love it. It just comes alive, it really does. Not surprising to see other photographers here this morning as well. But yeah, it was great. So I hope you managed to sort of enjoy some of the characters that I could show you this morning. A few of them I've shot before, including my favourite Jester behind me, but others that I hadn't shot that my friends have shot, so there's a few there. But there's loads, there are loads of characterful trees here at home. And as I say, shooting them in the fog and the mist just makes it a little bit easier, really. Right, that's it. I'm off. Mother's Day, I'm going to go and see my mum. And I shall see you guys on the next one, wherever that may be. Hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, see you soon.